So recently, video game addiction has been dubbed a mental disorder. How accurate is this? Well, we can go the scientific route and look up a study. I swear it gets more interesting, but let's start off with this. Researchers at the University of York in England conducted a series of experiments involving more than 3,000 participants to test whether violent video games prime players to behave in aggressive ways. And the study concluded video games don't lead to violent behavior in any particular way. I'm jumping to conclusions when I say this, but I think this suggests that video games don't influence behavioral tendencies or skew them in any particular direction. I think this is the same thing as saying you shot someone because Gangsta Rap made you do it. But hey, I'm no PhD, but I do have about 20 years experience in the field of video games, so I think I'm a little qualified to talk about this. So what I think is, when we label something like video games as harmful, we are losing track and diverging from actual mental illnesses. In terms of addiction, let's compare video games to alcohol. Both are claimed to be addictive, but addiction is defined from having negative symptoms, specifically any negative behavior caused outside the use of the drug, or in this case, video games. So to explain that a little bit, it just means if the drug or whatever the addictive thing is starts affecting people around you negatively, then that is when you can label it as something as an addiction. Now, there's a whole other topic on if video games cause violence, but that's a separate issue. Some video games can be addicting, but not life-controlling addicting. There is a clear difference between addiction and dependence. Their difference is mental dependence versus physical dependence. Physical dependence is where you enter the realm of addiction. I believe people use video games to fill a void and niche in their life they cannot express anywhere else. Mostly a social bond, weird enough to say it, like a friendship. It's kinda like that movie with the guy with the Ned Flanders mustache. Basically the plot was some guy, he falls in love with some artificial intelligence, and I think that's what's happening with a lot of people today, and that is only mentioning one aspect of like technology and gaming. It's not mentioning the amount of online interactions that can be made person to person. There are real bonds and connections to be made online. Crazy, I know. We've come a long way from hiding from those internet perverts in those chat rooms, huh? Another crazy thing is the population of people playing games right now is greater than most smallest towns and cities. So I have to ask, is that them being addicted to gaming? Or is it them finding an outlet for a real life problem they, or really all of us, are experiencing? Like, a lot of gamers seek a means to bond, whether it be getting lost in a magical world or teaming up with people across the world. It is that shared experience, that sense of community, on however large or small a scale you want to deem it. It is still a real experience in my mind. Obviously it is not real, but I'd be lying if I said some of these games didn't make me feel a type of way. So back to science. What video games do is essentially release dopamine in our brains almost on command. We get conditioned to think these games are easy and we are the masters of our favorite games. Then when we are faced with an annoying problem, when we were expecting to get a rush of dopamine, then I can see that leading to some aggression and some aggressive behavior. But addicting? I don't think so. In the case of video games versus drugs, we actually earn accomplishments as we master games, whereas with drugs or even gambling, there is an initial rush and we reward ourselves for doing nothing. Video games make you earn your stripes, where drugs just slowly destroy your body for temporary relief. But sometimes we actually need that temporary relief, and some people don't always have the best solution for it. Don't get me wrong, you can't depend on drugs to live your life. They can have their positive aspects, but let's be real here, that's just stupid. Let's flip it and say, okay, video game addiction is a mental disorder. People don't get compulsive needs to game unless in rare cases, like games that combat anxiety when played. Some even help control your breathing so you start to calm down. Let's just say I was triggered to play a game, say Call of Duty, known for its hostile crowd, and in the rare case, let's just say I gained so much I felt like committing self-harm on myself. Is the game itself to blame? Or is it the braggadocious, unsportsmanlike demeanor we all have adapted as alphas in society? Like, think about it. Imagine being trash at a game, trying to get better, when people are just telling you you suck, or to kill yourself, or something about your mom. Yeah, that is called bullying, and it has nothing to do with the game itself. This video's already gone on a little bit too long, but I wanted to end off talking about this point I heard from a TED Talk. What if addiction is not about your chemical hooks? What if addiction is about your cage? What if addiction is an adaptation of your environment? But hey, if you like this video, my channel is all about offering real discussions about any topic, mostly self-improvement, although I'm down to talk about anything really. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, subscribe. We'll have an awesome time growing together. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out everybody.